Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, all of you. So after a long time, no, we are starting work in the year 2025. We are going to start work in grade 8, is it? So today we had to start with the paper class, right? Because we are having the theory class in the evening. Though we were planning to have a change in time, but actually we had to schedule the class at the same time as we had last year, no? 7:30 to 9:30 would be the time of the theory class once again. Harry. So can you please turn on the videos, all of you? Please turn on the videos.
Teacher, it is saying that teacher, the host has disabled it.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Right. Now you can turn on the video. Sorry. Harry, turn on the videos, all of you. Okay, so today, since we haven't started a lesson yet, we will discuss certain things related to the lessons that we are going to discuss in the coming few days. So actually here, the objective of having this type of paper revision classes, sometimes now in the theory class, we will have to do a lot of calculations. Some of the lessons you will find somewhat difficult. Then we will have to do some extra work. For that also, we will use the paper class, right? Therefore, if someone is unable to join, those who are watching the recording, right? If someone is unable to join, you have to watch the recording because actually, if I say that these two classes are not separated, we wanted to do some more. Therefore, it's better if you can join both classes. Some have told that at 4 o'clock it is difficult for them to join because of the after school sessions, the sports practices and all this. So they better to go through the recording, right? Hari, Hiruki, Akid, Shezad, Dilini, Ishara. Please turn on the videos. Hari. Yes. So now you are going to start the work in a new grade, right? Therefore, you have to start work with a great determination. If you haven't followed the instructions that were given to you in the last 2 years, grade 6 and 7, now you can start, right? Because daily basis or weekly basis, better to do daily basis, you have to revise the subject matter, right? Now, the things that we are doing in the class, today itself, you have to go through them. You are watching videos, we are discussing questions. So the things are in your mind on the first day, right? On the day itself, you can remember the things very well, but they are in your short-term memory. So better to send them to your long-term memory by studying them. Then 9:30 වෙලා කොහොමද කියලා අමාරුයි තමයි ටිකක්. If you do a particular commitment, small commitment, at least by tomorrow morning, if you can revise the things, that is the best. ඒ විදිහට කරන්න ඕනේ. හරිද? අද දවසේ මේ කතා කරන දේවල් ටික paper class එකේ ළඟට theory class එකේ රැට කතා කරන දේවල් ටික ඔයාලා ඒ දවසේම අද අමාරුම නම් හෙට උදේ වරුවේ. At least tomorrow in the morning, you have to cover them up. The cover them up means you have to just revise. If you are making short notes, if you are highlighting the things, or if you are underlining, those things you have to do. You have to study them. Then only that will go to your long-term memory. Then when the exam is close by, when your term tests are close by, you are not in difficulty, right? It will be very easy for you. If you are having the term test tomorrow, you can even go on a trip today. If you do work like that, නැත්තම් අම්මෝ හිත term test කියලා හරි අමාරු වෙලා මේ books ටික ඔක්කොම අරගෙන එහෙම නේද? එහෙම කරනවට වඩා හොඳයි දවස් ගානේ පාඩම් කරන්න පුතේ. ඒක ලොකු effort එකක් දෙන්න ඕනෙත් නෑ. දැන් the things that we are discussing today within 3 hours, you will be able to revise them within half an hour. පැය 3ක් කතා කරපු දේවල් පැය භාගයක් විතර අරගෙන මතක් කරන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද? ඒක අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම කරන්න. කොහොම බලන්න පොරොන්දු වෙන අය? ඒ විදිහට කරන්න. මට තාම පේන්නේ නැති කීප දෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. Please rename yourselves. iPhone කියලා තියෙනවා. Yes. Please rename and turn on the videos. Okay, good. Ko පොරොන්දු වෙන්න නැතිවක් තියෙනවද පවන්?
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes.
I can't open the video.
Why is that? I have allowed all of you to turn on the videos. Is it a problem from your side?
Yes, teacher.
And are joining from some other device also?
Okay, teacher.
Okay. Hiruki, Disaja? Disaja, still you're on your way home?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Chatumini, Dilini Shara, Hiruki, Inia. Hi. ඉතින් පුතේ ඔයගොල්ලෝ ප්‍රශ්න අහන්න ඕනේ, අහන ප්‍රශ්න වලට උත්තර දෙන්න ඕනේ. You have to be very active in the class. This should be something very interactive, right? See, as we have done from this year onwards, we have improved the things. Yeah, the time allocation is also improved in order to do some more work, right? දැන් ගොඩක් අය පාඩම් කරලා දැනුම තිබුණාට සමහර අයට ප්‍රශ්න වලට උත්තර ලියා ගන්න තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ නිසා ඒකට පුරුදු කරන්නත් එක්ක තමයි දැන් මම paper revision කියන එක සමහර විට මේ papers ම කරනවා කියලා දැන් අද පටන් ගත්ත ගමන් we can't do the papers now. ඒ නිසා paper revision, we will revise the things sometimes that we have learned in the theory class. Therefore both are important, so you have to join interactively in both sessions. හරි නේද? Okay. Then අද අපි පුංචි දේවල් ටිකක් මතක් කරගමු. These things become very important for you, right? Within the year and in the coming years, and your ultimate target is and your parents expect you to face the O-level exam properly. නේද? එහෙම target එකකුත් තියෙනවානේ. ඉතින් ඒක exam target කරගෙනම science ඉගෙන ගන්න එපා. හරිද? Science is something that is applied in our day-to-day lives, right? Therefore, you have to apply those things. You build up an interest. ආසාවෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්න, right? එතකොට දැන් ඔයගොල්ලෝ ඔය බලන සමහර you watch children movies, sometimes cartoons. නේද? ඒක බැලුවාම කවුරුත් බල කරන්නේ නැහනේ. බලන්න කියලා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ කැමැත්තෙන් බලන්නේ. ඊට පස්සේ අම්මලා කියන්නේ නැහැ නේද? අනේ පුතේ මූවි එකක් බලන්න එහෙම කියලා. බල කරලා කියනවාද? හා? නැහනේ. කාටුන් එකක් බලන්න අනේ අද කොහොම හරි බලන්න ඕනේ කියලා එහෙම කියන්නේ නැහනේ කවුරුත්. එනකට ඔයාලා බලනවා. ඊට පස්සේ you can remember the characters very well, right? මතකයි නේද? Do you study the names of the cartoon characters? ලියාගෙන පාඩම් කරනවද? නැහනේ. Automatically you remember the names, right? අන්න ඒ වගේ තමයි. The things that you learn in the class, right? You have to learn them with a good interest. ආසාවෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්න. right? එතකොට මේ දේවල් ඉබේම මතක හිටිනවා. අර cartoon characters වගේ තමයි. ඒ නිසා ආසාවෙන් ලස්සනට වැඩ ටික කරන්න පිළිවෙලට. එතකොට always the benefit is for you. නේද? ඔයාලට නේද ඒකේ වාසිය තියෙන්නේ මටද? නෑ නේද? අපි සතුටු වෙනවද parents ලටත් නෙවෙයි. ඒකේ වාසිය තියෙන්නේ ඔයාලටම තමයි කවදා හරි. Parents and the teachers become happy by seeing your progress. That's all. Right? It's the happiness. Therefore, you do your work properly and get the achievements for you all. Right. Hi. ඔන්න දැන් මට ඔයාලා උදව් කරන්න ඕනේ in order to revise these things. The කියන්න මේ I got 88 marks for science. Okay, very good. And some of you had sent me messages mentioning the marks and thanking me. Actually, and once again, that's the happiness. Inia says 80 marks. Okay. Yesterday, I received a message that she has got 98 marks. Right? Very good. So, if you have taken somewhat less this time, so you can try more. In the next term test, right? අම්මයි මම කියන විදිහට වැඩ කරන්න. දවස ගානේ මතක් කරගන්න. ඒ අද කරන ටික ඔන්න අද රැට හරි හෙට උදේ වරුවේ හරි බලලා ඉවර කළා. ඊට පස්සේ ඊළඟ සතියේ join වෙන්න කලින් ආයෙත් සැරයක් චුට්ටක් බලාගත්තා. එතකොට කරලා බලන්න. එතකොට ඔයාලටම තේරෙනවා හොඳට මතක හිටිනවා මේ දේවල්. By experience, by practice, we are telling those. හරිද? අවුරුදු ගානක් ඔයාලගේ අයියලා අක්කලාට කියලා ඒගොල්ලෝ කියපු දේවල් වලින් අත්දැකීම් අරගෙන එහෙම තමයි මේ කියන්නේ. ඒ නිසා අර trial එකක් නෙවෙයි, practice කරන්න කියන දෙයක් නෙවෙයි, හොඳටම දැනගෙන කියන්නේ. ඒ නිසා you have to apply those. Okay? So for the exams, now you are starting grade 8 work, 9, 10, 11. Right? If you are facing the O-level exam even in grade 10, we don't know what will happen in future. They are going to change the things. එහෙම වෙනස්කම් වුණා. මොන විදිහේ වෙනස්කම් වුණත් they are ready නේද? So especially a subject like science, the things are applied in our day-to-day lives. What happens to the food that you consume? So we talk about acids, bases and these things. බලන්න මොන lesson එකද අපිට එදිනෙදා ජීවිතේ හම්බ වෙන්නේ නැත්තේ කියලා බොහොම applications අඩු දේවල් තියෙන හරිම අඩුවෙන් නේද? Most of the things are applied. දැන් අපි in the first lesson, we are going to discuss about microorganisms, the impact of microorganisms. Then අපිට කැම ටිකක් නරක් වෙලා තියෙනකොට අපිට මතක් වෙනවා this is due to the microbial activity, right? So all these things are applied in your day-to-day lives. Harry. Ovindu, please turn on the video. Harry. Today you can use a small exercise book, or if you are using a sheet of paper, put the date. Even in a book, you have to put the date. And if you are writing in papers, you'd better to have a file and orderly keep the notes, the things that you write. For in the theory class, for each and every lesson, you will receive a tute booklet. And in the paper class, on some of the days, you will receive a printed material. So once I share the soft copy, you have to take a printout. And now last year, you got the recordings for 14 days only. But now here onwards, you will get the recordings throughout the year. Right? එනිසා ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පරණ lessons උනත් බලන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම කියලා දැන් කලින් දවස් 14 තියෙනකොට කොහොම හරි recording එක බලනවා expire වෙන්න කලින්. දැන් අවුරුද්දම තියෙන හින්දා ඔන්න කල්දදා එහෙම ඉන්න නෙවෙයි. හරිද? කාට හරි term test ලඟ වුණා මොකක් හරි lesson එකක් අමතක වෙලා නම් මතක් කරගන්න. You can watch the recordings throughout the year. Right? So we have provided the maximum benefits to you all. You have to make use of them. Hariද? Okay. So if we start something with unicellular and multicellular organisms, right? Based on the cellular organization, based on the number of cells in which the organisms have, right? We can divide them into two categories: unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. In all of these, you have learned that the basic structural unit is the cell. Yes. And also the basic functional unit is the
Cell.
Cell. Yes. Therefore, we can say the cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Basic structural and functional unit of life. We'll start from there. Cell. Right? We'll say the cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life.
Miss, do we have a topic for this?
And no need to write a topic, Roshani. Today we will just discuss on different topics, right?
Okay.
This is something like a summary. Then we can divide those. We can divide those organisms into two main groups based on the number of cells. Depending on the number of cells, we can divide those organisms into two main groups. So that thing I will mention like this. Depending on the number of cells. Depending on the number of cells. Depending on the number of cells, organisms are of two types, unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms.
Excuse me, teacher.
Depending on the number of cells, the organisms are divided into two categories, right? Unicellular and multicellular organisms. Unicellular and multicellular organisms. Okay. Can you give me examples for this? Yes. Can you give me examples for unicellular and multicellular organisms?
Paramecium.
Ah,
Amoeba.
Paramecium, paramecium.
Uranium.
The scientific name, I have to underline the name, right? Then amoeba. Amoeba. Then who else?
Fungi.
For this, there are certain fungal varieties which are multicellular. There are unicellular as well as multicellular fungal varieties.
Chlamydomonas.
Chlamydomonas is an alga which has a single cell. Its whole body is a single cell, right? Chlamydomonas.
Euglena.
Euglena, very good. Euglena. Euglena. Okay. Then if you mention bacteria, bacteria also have a single cell, right? Their body consists of a single cell. Then what about multicellular organisms? You can mention a number of examples, right? For multicellular organisms.
Virus.
Yes.
Virus.
What is it, Pute?
Virus.
Virus is also unicellular, right? Virus is also unicellular. Virus. Come to this side. Unicellular. Even bacteria come to this side. Unicellular. Then the multicellular organisms, there are so many multicellular organisms. Neither. So you can mention about the plants and animals. There are so many varieties of plants and animals. They are having more than one cell. Right now, if we consider us, in our bodies, there are several millions of cells, right? There are several millions of cells in our bodies. So we are multicellular. Okay, finished? Yanuli, can you please turn on the video?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, finished? Shall I clear the things?
No, teacher. Is fungi unicellular?
There are fungal varieties which are unicellular as well as multicellular. මේ දෙකටම අයිති වෙන fungi. සමහර fungus තියෙනවා unicellular, සමහර අය multicellular. Right?
Protozoa.
Protozoans, yes, protozoans can be considered under unicellular organisms. Then අපි කියවේ paramecium, amoeba, ඊළඟට plasmodium මේ වගේ protozoans. They are unicellular. Right. Shall I clear the things?
Okay.
Have you finished?
Okay, miss.
Okay. Right. Then let's see about the organizational levels in the unicellular organisms, not unicellular, sorry, multicellular organisms. Organizational levels. Organizational levels. Hi. So you told that the basic structural and functional unit of life is the cell, right? So starting from the cell, a collection of cells is known as, yes?
Tissue.
Tissue. Then a collection of tissues formed as
Organs.
number of organs may
System.
an organ system, we can say organ system. Organ system. Then a collection of systems. Collection of systems.
Organism.
Organism. Yes, organism. So if we give examples from plants and animals for these, if we consider man as the organism, there are so many systems in the human body. What are the systems in the human body?
Digestive system. Respiratory system. Circulatory system. Nervous system.
Digestive system.
Expiratory system.
Excretory system.
Skeletal system.
Skeletal system. Yes, there are so many systems in the human body. So we'll take one of the systems here. We'll say, I will take circulatory system. Circulatory system. Circulatory system. Right. So, what are the organs present in the circulatory system?
Heart.
What are the organs present in the circulatory system?
Heart.
Okay. Heart, blood vessels.
Heart.
Yes. Okay. We'll say the heart. Then, if the heart is made out of a particular type of tissues, we call them as cardiac muscle tissue, right? Cardiac muscle tissue. The word cardiac is associated with the heart. නේද දැන් අපි කියන හෘද රෝග විශේෂඥයාට කියන්නේ මොකද්ද කාඩියොලොජිස්ට් නේද කාඩියොලොජිස්ට් ඊළඟට ECG එකක් ගන්න to see the proper functioning of the heart we call it as electrocardiogram ECG means so the word cardio that is associated with the heart right so the tissue available is cardiac muscle tissue then the cells available in the cardiac muscle tissue are cardiac muscle cells. Cardiac muscle cells. Cardiac muscle cells. Cardiac muscle cells are there. That is an example from an animal. Then if we take an example from plants. So there are only two systems in a plant. What are they? Yes, there are only two systems.
Shoot system and root system.
System and the
Root system.
root system. Plant. So I will say the shoot system. I will take the shoot system. Okay. So what are the organs present in the shoot system? Yes. Towel. What else? Leaf.
Branches.
Branches. Flowers. Fruit.
Flowers, fruit.
Yes. Now I mentioned the leaf. Okay, you can take down leaf. Then the leaf is made out of. There are different types of tissues available in the leaf. I will mention about, I will say parenchyma tissue. Parenchyma tissue. There are different types of tissues in a plant body. So parenchyma tissue is made out of parenchyma cells. Parenchyma cells. Parenchyma cells. So these are examples for the organizational levels in living bodies. The school gila apu gaman wageda. Just after coming from school. So before the theory class, you can have a small break, no? Not small.
Excuse me.
Yes, Pute?
Tonight for the theory class, do we have to use the exercise book?
No, I have shared the tute, no? So you have to take a printout of it and keep.
Okay, teacher.
Have you all finished writing?
No, teacher. Yes, teacher.
Hi. Finished? Atineda. So when you are writing the things also, you have to concentrate on what you are writing. You have to just think on what you are writing. Shall I clear the things? Hi. Then we will talk about the SI units. What are SI units? The units used according to the international standards. The units used according to the international standards. So these become very important when we are learning science because we have to express values. Sometimes we will have to do calculations. So in those instances, expressing our answers, doing the calculations by using SI units is very important, right? SI units, International Standard Units. So I will mention certain quantities or else certain measurements, then you have to mention the unit used for these physical quantities, right? I will start. So you have to write the unit in front. For example, to measure the length, we are using the meter. The symbol is simple length. That's enough, right?
Madam, I can't see the board clearly.
How did the thing? Who can't see the board clearly?
Me too, teacher.
Netulima, you can't see the board clearly. Hands up those who can't see the board clearly.
Teacher, sometimes it gets unclear. Now it's okay.
Okay. So, what are you just in place? Finally, I will mention time. Write the SI units of these. Yes, done.
Yes, teacher.
Who has joined us? iPhone, please rename and turn on the video. You can't be in the class in another names. Hi, shall we check? So distance, what is the SI unit? Distance, that is the
Meters.
displacement,
Meters.
so meter. Then what about volume?
Centimeter.
Volume, Pute?
Cubic unit.
Cubic meters. Cubic meters is the volume. M3 කියලා අපි ලියනවා. Cubic meters. Mass?
Newton.
Okay, mass now I will say that my body mass is 40 what?
Kilograms.
Yes.
Kilograms.
Grams, right? Kilograms. Simple kg, right? Simple capital usage is also important. Here both are simple. Simple kg. Force.
Newton.
That is in Newton, capital N. Weight. Now, my body mass is 50 kilograms, but my weight is 500 centimeters. 500
Grams.
no. 500 newtons. 500 newtons. You have heard about this. We have mentioned about the Newton spring balance, which is used to measure a weight of an object. Yes.
For force, isn't it Joule?
Joule is used to measure the energy, not force. Force is measured in newtons. Okay? Force is measured in newtons.
Okay, teacher.
Electric current. Electric current is measured in ampere, capital A. Then potential difference. Potential difference. Yes. That is Nabude. Volt, capital V. Electric potential difference is measured in volts. Then what about resistance? You know, ohm. Yes, resistance is measured in ohm. Ohm. Then what about temperature?
Kelvin.
Capital K. Kelvin, capital K. Right. Then time?
Seconds.
Seconds. Time is measured in seconds. Simple S. Seconds. හරි නේද? ඔනෝ මතක තියාගන්න. Right, till grade 11 or even after that, these become useful. Harry. Finish, no? Then finally, for today, I will mention about scalar and vector quantities. We will revise about scalar quantities and vector quantities, right? Harry. So, shall I clear the things? You are ready? Okay. Then, finally, we will mention about two types of physical quantities.
Excuse me, Miss.
How would they?
For resistance, I didn't see it.
Resistance, the symbol is electrical resistance is measured in ohm. We call this as ohm. This is the symbol of ohm. Another. Right.
Miss, what about potential difference?
Potential difference, capital V, volt. Capital V, volt. iPhone තාම rename කරගත්තේ නැහැ. Now we are close to the end of the session, but you haven't renamed it. Okay, physical quantities. Physical quantities, we can divide them into two main categories, the scalar quantities and vector quantities. Scalar quantities and vector quantities. So what do you mean by scalar quantities? Yes. What do you mean by scalar quantities? Manal scalar quantities can? Quantities having a magnitude only. Quantities having a magnitude only. Magnitude only. Now, what are the examples for scalar quantities then? Yes.
Distance,
Distance.
Time.
Distance.
pressure,
Time. Then even the speed. Then you mentioned about temperature. They have a value only. We say the temperature is 100 degrees Celsius. Or else we can say 373 Kelvin. We can give a value only. Temperature. What else? Yes. The mass. Yes, we take 1 kilogram of sugar. So 1 kilogram, that is a magnitude only. Okay. What else? Even the volume, it has a magnitude only. We'll say that the volume of this bottle is 1 liter. Liter is not the SI unit, but we can mention a value only there. But when it comes to vector quantities, what's the special feature? Yes? Quantities having?
magnitude and direction. Magnitude and direction both.
Yes, quantities having both a direction and a magnitude. Both a direction and a magnitude. Both a direction and a magnitude. These are called vector quantities. What are the examples for vectors?
Displacement,
Done it. Displacement. Displacement. What else? Even the force. Now I pushed something. So it has, the force has a magnitude as well as a direction. If I apply the force towards this direction, it is a push. If I apply the force towards this direction, it is a pull. Neither. Force. And even the weight. Weight is the attractive force on our body towards the gravity. අපිව පොළොව දිහාවට ඇදගන්න බලයට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ weight කියලා. So it also has both magnitude and a direction, weight. Okay. Then later on, you will learn about velocity, acceleration. You will learn about these later on. Velocity, acceleration, right? These are also vector quantities. You will be able to learn about these in detail. In this grade also you are learning some of this, and later you will learn about the others. Hi. Finished. Hi. So this would be the nature of our paper revision class. මේ අද කලේ අපි පරණ දේවල් මතක් කරගත්ත, ඉස්සරහට ඕන වෙන දේවල් කීපයක් කිව්වා. ඉතින් ඒ ඉස්සරහට අර මම කිව්වා වගේ the things that we have discussed in the theory class will be revised, and also we will do questions in this class. So once again today we are meeting at 7:30 with the theory class, right? Okay then. If you have finished writing, you can have a break and join at 7:30 with the theory class. Okay?
Thank
See
you,
you
teacher.
next
God bless you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, teacher. God bless you, teacher.
Thank you, madam.